She raised the lid to show me the turntable within. "We never use this thing," Thule said, "but the ghost does." "It plays records?" I asked. "It used to, until it figured out how to work the TV." Thule shook her head and opened a drawer at the base of the cabinet, full of records dating back to the 1910s, their paper wrappers yellowed and crumbling. "We'd hear this scratchy music in the middle of the night and have to come cut it off. Always these old records. This big band stuff. It happened a few times. It stopped after the TV went to flipping itself on instead." "And you're sure none of this is done by the kids?" I asked. "Not after the other things I've seen, and not after that night I came here and saw the TV switching channels all by itself, just clicking through one after another. I turned it off, but I didn't tell nobody about it, not for a while." "What else have you seen in here?" "That's the main things that have happened." Thule led us through the open double doors into a small library, the shelves crammed full of old volumes and small statues. Leather-upholstered chairs flanked the little brick fireplace, and a thickly piled ornate rug covered most of the hardwood floor. "Books sometimes fly off the shelves. Makes a racket." The library ceiling had 2 large green stains, and the rug below it was discolored in the same areas. "More of the strange leaks from non-existent pipes?" I asked, and Thule nodded. The next set of double doors was closed. Each room in the house seemed connected to the next by these double doors, but most of them were propped open like window shutters. Thule opened one door but didn't step through. "This is a guest room, but Gord's been sleeping here. The stairs are so hard on him." The room was crammed full of more antique tables and chairs, plus a 4-poster bed with thick, dark columns of cherry wood. "Does anything happen in there?" I asked. "Sure, things move. And the ceiling." She pointed to more of the ugly green splotches. "Oh, but the biggest thing to happen on this floor was the dining room." Thule led us up the central hall to the long, tall room, lit by a row of high windows. An open pair of double doors led into the kitchen beyond. The polished birch table could have seated 12. A large copper and crystal chandelier hung above the table, and paintings adorned the walls, featuring men and women in fancy dresswear of the 19th century. "One time we were having supper in here," Thule said. "We usually eat in the kitchen, but it was my husband's birthday, so I was trying to do something nice, have a nice family meal together. Right in the middle of supper, all the paintings came crashing down off the walls. Some of the plates and things jumped right off the table and hit the floor. Smashed the china gravy boat to pieces. I haven't mentioned that to my cousin. The china came with the house." "Everybody was sitting down?" I asked. "There was nobody out of the room? Nobody else in the house?" "Well, Juniper, she was running out the door in a huff," Thule said. "But she wasn't nowhere near the paintings, and her plate jumped off the table, her silverware along with the gravy boat and mashed potatoes. She was out in the hall by the time that happened." "Why was she running out?" "Oh, she was upset about this boy. I guess it's her boyfriend, but I don't like to call him that. Dayton. He's 15, for one thing, 2 years older than her, and goes to high school, and Junie's just going into the 8th grade in the fall. And he dresses like a thug, wears his sunglasses indoors, and he always smells like cigarettes. I mean, he's a bad kid." "So you were fighting about her boyfriend?" I asked. "Well, we was trying to tell her again that she wasn't allowed to see him." Thule shook her head. "I knew supper was ruined as soon as we started talking about that boy." Stacy and I shared a look. We were probably thinking the same thing. "What is it?" Thule asked. "Sometimes when you have a young person, especially an adolescent girl, and there's drama and